The Magicians, on Tour by Rachel Lawson. "Hello, good evening," said the Emperor of the Universe, still in his regal outfit he had worn to his last intergalactic summit an hour before. "Are you for real?" asked Violet Flowers, a popular singer, hardly believing he was real. "Oh, the outfit, sorry, I didn't have the time to change, I was at an well, never mind," Fred said. "The police sent you?" said Violet, hardly believing it. "Yes," said Fred, smiling charmingly. "Who are you, Napoleon?" asked Violet. Fred's handsome tenor voice laughed. "No," said Fred, "I'm called Fred Alexander." "Not the famous stage magician?" asked Violet, having the name ringing a bell. "The same," Fred said charmingly, bowing. "Was the outfit for your show?" asked Violet. "No. You wouldn't believe me if I told you," said Fred awkwardly. A bearded prince walked into the room. "Ah, Blake wondered when you'd show up," said Fred. "Who's he meant to be, Prince Charming?" asked Violet. Fred and Blake laughed in the same charming tenor voice. They were the same man. How do you ask? They were time travelers from different points of the same man's long life. "How many of you are there? You look the same," asked Violet, noting they looked like twins. "Hey Gramps, Dad," said Lance, walking into the room dressed as a prince in black. "A few but 3 like me is enough for anyone," Fred joked. "One of you is bad enough," said Lance. Blake glared at Lance and said, 3 is too many when he's included." "Are any more of you coming?" asked Violet, awkwardly trying to change the subject. "Just my wife Angela, she's running late," Blake said. Angela arrived 5 minutes later. Walking into the room, she apologized for being late. "It was murder driving like this," said the princess in her ball gown. She saw Violet, adding, "This must be Violet Flowers, nice to meet you." "Hello, can you sing?" asked Violet, getting down to business. "Yes," said Fred, "that's why we're here." "Show me, don't tell me," said Violet. They did. They were too good. Fred had so much charisma and stage presence he'd steal the stage, Violet thought. "How did we go?" asked Fred. "You were good, too good, but you don't look like you'd fit in my show, you'd steal it," Violet said. The Emperor Fred smiled and chuckled. Then said, "Have faith, we can change our look, just wait." "Has anyone seen the new backing singers?" asked Violet on a performance night of a scruffy man she didn't know who must have been a roadie. "We're here," said the scruffy man who she thought seemed vaguely familiar. "What? Fred? Is that you?" Violet asked the man. "Yes," the man replied. He was hanging out with some people she realized were the singers, all had the scruffy, grungy look of rock singers. They played the part, they played to the hilt, thought Violet. The woman who she first saw as a highborn princess was now a rock chick in leather. She saw her form better in this outfit, and she saw she had a baby bump. "I hope that baby bump is not for looks," said Violet, hoping she didn't insult the woman. "No," said the father, Fred. "Mum's legit," said Lance. "Mum?" said Violet. "She's his stepmom," said Blake. "I've been meaning to ask you how old you were. If he's Lance's grandfather, he must have married young," said Violet. Fred smiled enigmatically and chuckled. "He's my grandfather, Lance is my son," said Blake. "What?" said Violet, lost. "We are older than we look," said Fred. "It messes with our minds too," confessed Angela. "All right, I thought you were younger than me," said Violet, who was 30. "It's complicated, we don't age like you," said Fred, smiling. "How are things behind the scenes?" asked Violet. "We have not found out who sent the letter as of yet, but we are listening," said Lance, who looked like he had a dark side, and it was visible now for the show. "Listening?" said Violet. "We're mind readers," Lance said. "Oh," said Violet, walking off awkwardly, realizing they were reading her mind and she was thinking of Fred. She was a bit embarrassed, so she left. "See you on the stage," said Fred awkwardly. Angela looked suspiciously at Fred. "What?" said Fred innocently. Blake looked daggers at Fred. "Oh, get a room, you three," snapped Lance, storming off. He knew who Fred and Blake were, and Angela was his lover and wife. Blake stood glaring at Lance, offended they were reading each other's minds. Later on the stage, the four magicians took their places as backup singers, watching for trouble. Violet was thinking about her lyrics. Fred, who was a little in love with Violet, was trying not to think of Violet now. He knew the others would kill him if he did again. He learned his lesson before. He was reading the crowd. It seemed she had another fan. They were thinking of her like an overly obsessed fan, and seemed dangerously so. "If I can't have you, then no one will," Fred heard in the head of a person out there. Fred tried to pick out the stream of thought to a single mind. It was hard, and he had a migraine. He had to tell the others in their minds about the zealot. He saw a drone. It swooped by Violet, nearly hitting her head. He realized it wasn't meant to be there. Violet thought it was a fan's attempt at getting a photo. She smiled. It tried to hit her. She started to run, and the drone followed her. Fred ran to cover her from the drone with his body, but the drone swooped him, cutting him. Lance reached out and cast a spell that exploded the drone as it swooped to Fred again, nearly killing him. "What was that about?" asked Violet, looking up at Fred from under him. "The pilot is an obsessed fan. They wanted to kill you because they couldn't have you," said Fred. Angela shot an angry look at Fred. "Not me," said Fred, scared of Angela. The pilot was caught by the audience. Angela had to forgive Fred. He was doing his work, not trying to cheat on her. As Angela thought. They left the tour, and Fred never spoke of it again. He knew Angela was as jealous of him as he was of her.